you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Welcome back to the Midnight Hustle. I'm DieHard Derek. My next guest is known in the wrestling business as the Chainsaw Queen. If you follow her sultry content, photos and images, you might refer to her as a social media neckbreaker, or as my wife refers to her as, who the fuck is that in your DMs? Calm down, it's nothing, it's just fucking booking interviews. But today she's here. She's going to be sharing her incredible story and journey from recovery documented in the new project, Wrestling with CRPS. Give it up for the Black Dahlia.
What?
That is our not live studio audience. Welcome, girl. How you doing?
What an introduction. Oh my gosh, you made me blush. That was well done. Good
Thank you. I mean, I've only been doing it for over 30 years, but hopefully I got it down by now.
I would hope so. You know, practice makes perfect.
It's funny. I said I've been doing that for 30 years. You're only like 31, right?
Yeah.
I've been doing this shit for as long as you've been alive.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you're still young. You're still young.
Yeah,
And you look younger than what you are. So, I
Well,
mean,
thank
you got
you.
it going. You got the
Thank
genetics.
you.
Yeah.
Good genes.
But yeah, 92, baby.
Ooh, that's the year I started in pro wrestling.
What the heck? It's like our angel
Yeah.
signs are flowing right now.
I'm a Virgo.
Pisces.
I'm a Virgo.
You're a Virgo?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means. I just know my enemies are Sagittarius and Gemini, and all my friends are Gemini, and all my family members are Sagittarius, so I'm kind of
What's
fucked.
Pisces? Pisces is March?
Yeah, Pisces is, early March. And,
All right, my wife's a Pisces then. Yeah, she's March 19th.
Emotional,
Yes.
very, very giving, very giving.
Uh-huh. Yes. We're very vain and fucking assholes, so Virgo.
awesome.
We're entertainers.
Love that.
So, girl, I've been following your stuff, and don't get me wrong. Like, I first saw, I was like, oh shit, who is that? And I was like, oh, she's in wrestling too, even better. But they call you the Chainsaw Queen. Is that a shoot chainsaw? It's like 6 feet tall. Is that a shoot chainsaw?
Yeah.
No way.
So, no, dead ass. It's I have actually 10 chainsaws, and
shit,
they
look at
all are oiled and gassed and ready to go,
Uh-huh.
and they all have teeth.
So, I mean, you don't have like when promoters book you on shows, there's no safety concerns that you're gonna
Well,
hey, take a picture with a kid and cut their fucking neck off.
Well, actually, so if I'm having a photo shoot, I like to keep the chain on. But if I'm gonna go out to the ring, or if I have any, basically, if I start up the stalls, normally I take the chain off. And
Okay.
I remember just this past October, I was the entourage of Leatherface himself, R.A. Mahoff. He uses mine and my best friend Nathaniel's chainsaw, the Excalibur, the golden chainsaw.
I've seen that one, yeah.
Yeah, so I was actually walking Scarefest. I had it over my shoulder, and some dumbass came by and like touched it. And he's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Oh, that's real." And I was just like, "Who would touch someone's golden chainsaw that's like bigger than them? Like, don't touch someone's shit, bro."
Yeah, so, I mean, what about you travel with this thing, though? I mean, TSA
Yeah.
gotta love you. You walking around like, listen, it's not a bomb. It's not a bomb. But they looking through the X-ray scanner like, what the fuck is she doing?
Right, good question. So I haven't quite figured that out yet. I mean, I have an uncle, and this he's a hunter and travels with guns and stuff. So he's trying to educate me on how to travel with a chainsaw. So what I gather is it can't have gas or oil in it, but I can't.
Okay.
I haven't figured that out quite yet. So unfortunately, I have to drive. Just like this past year,
Gotcha.
I had to drive a 26-hour drive straight to Arizona for a show, and it was like,
Was it worth
brutal.
it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely.
I mean, you're not, and we're going to talk about this in a little while when we start discussing your career, but I mean, you do things the old school way, but driving from, you're in Ohio to Arizona for an indie show.
Arizona's my home, away from
Oh,
home,
okay.
So,
Then that makes sense.
like,
You can do other
close in
shit
the
while you're out
middle.
there. Okay. I'm
my
like,
families are from Ohio and Arizona, so it's a little like both.
all right, so at least you were there for another purpose. Like, fuck it, I'll see family while I'm out here. Just not for a $50 payday
actually
from the
didn't
local
get to
promoter.
you would think, but I didn't even get to see family while I was out there. I just got to see the scenery and then get to absorb the desert and then be like, bye.
That's good. Yeah, no, I picked up my sister from Yuma, Arizona one time. We drove back to Florida, And man, it was a wild trip. And just I'm dying to go back to Arizona. The dunes out there drive me wild. We drove through I guess where they filmed. It looked like Tunisia, but I guess it's where they filmed some of the scenes from Star Wars, the desert scenes. Oh, it's beautiful, man. I
love
can't
that
wait
you're
to
a
go back.
Star Wars. You just made a Star Wars reference because, like, as
Huge
a
Star Wars
'90s
mark.
baby,
Uh-huh.
okay. So let's have that discussion. All
Yeah,
right,
let's
you
go.
ready?
Go with that.
Okay. So my introduction to Star Wars was actually the OGs, and so
Okay, good.
there. But
special
my
edition though.
it was my father's VHS tapes, and
All right, so there's a chance.
so I was sick as fuck,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to stay home from school, and I was like, okay, so what am I gonna do this week? And as a naughty child, I got into the cabinets, and thank God I didn't come across anything else. But I
Yeah,
found
he could have had a
VHS
stash
tapes.
in there, Pinot.
Like, I mean, now that I think about it, as a grown ass woman, I'm like, I got lucky. But
Mm-hmm.
I got into my father's cabinet of his VHS tapes, and I never heard of Star Wars before. And unfortunately, oh shit, am I that up close? What the fuck?
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, before I was like, yo, your eyebrows are touching the top. I'll go back. Hold on. There we go.
Did I have boogers this whole time?
No, I didn't know. I couldn't see it from that, but from this angle though, no, it still looks good.
Boogers.
No, you look good. You're clean. You're clean.
Shot on me.
So go back. You tell me about Star Wars.
This is a shoot. Fuck.
I like to alternate because sometimes people get they see two talking heads.
So
Like, no,
is
we'll
it
zoom in.
rectangular or is it like what?
No, it's
are
both.
we
It's
doing?
both.
Don't
Yeah.
do this.
You don't
to
like that.
me.
Oh, okay. I thought you might be in wrestling gear, so every now and then I'd zoom in so that we. It looked like a vertical video like you post online. No, I'm saying I thought sometimes when you do your interviews, you dress up in your gimmicks. I wasn't sure. I wanted to give the option to see you up closer.
When the fuck have I ever worn my gimmick in an interview, bro?
Not your gimmick, but I mean you got your gimmicks. You know what I'm saying? Just
Are you
I'm
talking
like,
just
oh,
like
all right.
my
So,
tits out or some shit?
well, say in some interviews that I've seen, I was like, oh, I don't know how she's dressing.
Lying that my tits are a gimmick because they can't.
No, they look all natural. But I'm saying
They
though,
are natural, but I'm
good.
referring to, like, do I use them in a match? I could possibly. I don't know.
And we will discuss that because, like I said, I got a shitload of questions. I've been dying to pick your brain, but
Are we
I want to
talk about Star Wars or no?
No,
Are
get
you
to the
a
fucking
fake
Star Wars.
Are you
Am
a
I
fake
a
Star
fake-
Wars fan?
Yo,
Are you
first
a
of all,
poser?
my daughter's name is Leia.
Mhm.
I named my daughter after Princess Leia, and I chose that when I was 5.
Grace. I get it. Okay, so that's pretty badass though. I
All right,
love that.
so tell me, you watch OG Star Wars?
Yes,
you
but
dodged
you're
the
gonna
porn stash. You get the
die.
VHS tapes.
Well, I lucked out. I didn't.
Uh-huh.
I did not. But that's another story. I came across a porno mag once, but I'll tell you about that off camera. It was dramatic as fuck.
Oh. Yeah, you get scared. Listen, when you see a vagina for the first time and you have young age, you're like, oh my God, did she sit on a grenade?
So you're into chicks, right?
Of course. The fuck do I
Dude,
really?
Wait, you don't know?
into
Is my
chicks.
hair extension? 1 minute. Is my hair?
I don't know. Let's check. Is your hair extension on there?
Shit, 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute.
So you got gimmick hair though.
A little. Don't expose me. Don't expose the roots. Come on.
I like the roots. The roots look good. I'm into brunettes.
Okay. Validation. Thank you.
I'd rather see the top of your head. In the camera, on the camera.
Stop doing the close-up.
All right. I'm going back. Okay, we're good.
He knows I'm going to bed after this, so he knows I'm not. Don't do close-ups. I'm not.
All right,
ready.
we're gonna stay like this. We'll stay like this for the next 3 minutes.
Instead of getting traumatized and coming across like some kind of porn, I came across Star Wars. So thank God.
Yes.
Double whammy. Like, I passed the trauma and then I got in an obsession. So, could you imagine? It ended up being porn and I got an obsession with porn.
Right. You're just like, it's called Star Horrors. I don't know what the fuck this is.
No.
Han Solo and this giant walking 70s vagina, big hairy rug walking around.
I mental health issues from now on because of that. I'm traumatized. No, okay, that would make a lot of sense. So I never got the experience that a lot of Star Wars fans got of not knowing Darth Vader was actually Anakin Skywalker and then Luke Skywalker's father. So I the first Star Wars I saw was Return of the Jedi.
You watched it in reverse.
Yes, my big dad. I didn't know.
Shit.
I grabbed a VHS tape and poured it in.
Right.
Fell in love with it. Return of the Jedi is like my favorite.
Okay.
To this day. But so I watched it once and I was like mesmerized. Watched it a second time. You had to, rewind it. We're exposing my age, had to rewind it and then play it back. And then by the third time, like my parents came home and my parents were like, "What are you watching?" And they noticed it was Star Wars and they're like, "Oh, which one is it?" And I was like, "There's more." So then my parents
and it worked out for you because you saw one as a standalone film. They're like, "Yo, you want to see the backstory on this?" And
unfortunately, though, I didn't get the experience of, "No, I am your father." I didn't get to fucking have those tingles. I already fucking knew by the time I watched it. But then A New Hope became my fucking favorite. And then, of course, I was lucky because as this was happening, guess what was being made? Phantom Menace, like that. And then, God, I got a boner for Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then it became
it's fucking Ewan McGregor. Fucking, I get a boner for Ewan McGregor.
Well,
that dude's beautiful.
Okay, well, yeah, you would. Okay, I should just go with that and say it's Ewan McGregor. But no, like dead ass, it's fucking like the it's Obi-Wan. It's like dead ass the character because like. It's like the cartoon could get it. I'm talking the OG could get it.
Oh, you like the cartoon could get it. You like pleasure.
I'm dead ass Obi-Wan diehard fan. I'm telling you right
like
now.
The Force is strong with this one.
It's like literally, if Obi-Wan came up to you, bro, are you telling me if Obi-Wan motherfucking Kenobi approached you, you wouldn't be like bending and spreading your cheeks for him? You telling me you turn that down?
Listen, he's a beautiful looking man. Maybe my junk wiggles a little, but not my type. I'm looking at the other chicks. I'm checking out the green chick with the 3 tits.
Me, you are a liar.
If I had options, if I'm in a galaxy far, far away and I got options, I'm like, he's a good-looking dude. If I was into dudes, I'm gonna fuck the alien bitch with 3 tits.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about right now in your room. The podcast is over. You switch off the computer and Obi-Wan motherfucking Kenobi. Like, okay, so we're in Marvel Universe right now and Doctor Strange opens up the portals or whatever. Some bullshit portal opens. Obi-Wan motherfucking Kenobi comes through and he's like, "Hey, I want to clap him." You wouldn't let him?
I'm just saying, if in a multiverse I'm gay over there, yeah, of course. In this verse, I'm like, "Yo, good looking dude. Let's go bag some chicks." Come on.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Use a fucking Jedi mind trick.
No,
like this ain't the bra you're looking for.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not gay. But if fucking Princess Leia came through and she's like, "Hey,"
that's
and I'd
hot.
be like, "Well, how can I serve you?"
Yeah, because she's hot, and 2 girls getting it on. And I'm not saying that 2 dudes getting it on isn't hot, because there's an audience for that. I ain't that audience. That's not me. I ain't think that I'm good.
I'm just moral of the story is Obi-Wan Kenobi could get it anytime, anywhere.
Anytime, any day. I am getting, I know my costume for fucking Halloween. Use a fucking Jedi mind trick on you. Like, "Hey, Dahlia, you know what's up."
Yeah.
I lost you.
It's okay. Wait, let me adjust my tripod 1 second.
Okay. Well, hey, while you're off camera, you can still talk, right? You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, great. So, let's talk about your career a little bit. Fans who don't know you, this is their first introduction to the Black Dahlia. Tell them a little bit about your gimmick, and your pairing with Kill Billy Evil Nate.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for bringing it up. Okay. So guys, this is my baby and I've been perfecting it since 2011. So basically when I got involved with the business, I was just that theater nerd, the actor, and I invented the Black Dahlia. And are you familiar with the Black Dahlia?
I know it.
Like Elizabeth Short.
Brian De Palma fucked that movie up.
So back in 2011, a lot of people were not familiar with Elizabeth Short's story, the Black Dahlia. So like when I got involved, I was like, I was 18. I was just a kid. I wasn't familiar with the business. And I just, I was slowly being educated on in the business. And I didn't like where the women's division was at the time, even on the indie level. And like I said, it was 2011. It was right before the women's revolution. And I just wanted to be the valet. I didn't want to be the wrestler. I thought I could be like a female version of like Paul Heyman or something. So
Mm-hmm.
all the different gimmicks they try to put on me, like, were strippers' names. Were like, oh, it was so cringe. It
Yeah,
was,
Cinnabons or some shit.
yeah, like sugar
Mm-hmm.
tits. Like, it was bad.
Right,
It was
right,
rainbow
right.
sunshine.
And
It
you
was
know, around that time though, they didn't even have respect for valets or what they can do. They didn't even care if you had talent, if you can cut
exactly.
a promo. They saw you as the
Oh,
fifth ring post.
oh, exactly. And so that was the challenge I had. So as a theater nerd, as a kid, I mean, I had auditioned for the New York Film Academy, got accepted, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like in a crossroads where I was like, do I want to do this wrestling stuff or do I want to go and pursue my acting and film career? So I obviously chose wrestling. But at the time when I was just a valet, even valets were non-existent. And at the time,
Right.
I think maybe Lana had just started was introduced with Rusev when they started showing up. I think it was around that time on WWE.
Okay.
So like that's the angle I was going to be going, and it was a lost craft at the time, and it still
Mm-hmm.
kind of is. And I wanted to be like a Paul Heyman style on the mic, but a female Miss Elizabeth. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so I took that very seriously. I had acting classes. I was a part in an agency, this like modeling acting agency, and and something just snapped one day, and I was just like, I kind of want to take this seriously, and I want to actually be a wrestler. I have this athletic background. I did everything. Like I did sports from the age of 2 to senior year.
Mm.
I know all about from ballet, tap, jazz, all my dance classes, cheer to volleyball, softball, basketball. I did all the sports, and to be like, you know what? I think I'm okay. So I was the actor, I was the athlete. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna be the wrestler. And when I decided to be a wrestler, that's when my Black Dahlia gimmick, because I didn't want to have the stripper names. I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to be the Black Dahlia. I thought that would be cool to be like a Harley Quinn multi-personality gimmick. So I
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
be on the so I got to be on the indies for a minute as the Black Dahlia, but then when I became the wrestler, I became the Chainsaw Queen, and that was back in 2016.
Okay, so from what I'm getting here, and it sounds like what attracted me to pro wrestling back in the day, I had no idea what fuck wrestling was. I had no clue. I grew up watching boxing, full contact sports, and somebody's like, yo, let's wrestle. Like, what are you talking about? What's wrestling? I don't know. So they just start doing all wild shit. They beating the shit out of me and stretching me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? First WrestleMania comes out, and I'm familiar with Hulk Hogan and Mr. T from Rocky 3. And I'm like, oh, they must have made another movie together like Rocky, but it's like the B film version. And I get introduced to WrestleMania. And I'm like, what the? First match, Tito Santana and the Executioner. I see Ricky Steamboat flying off the top rope. I'm like, you can do that? They're in a boxing ring. You can fucking do that? And I got hooked. When I found out that it was a work, I'm like, you're taking my love for movies and you're taking my love for full contact sports. That gives you more options than boxing, which is very disciplined of just punching and jabbing and slipping the jab. But you can put him in a headlock, hit him with a fucking pile driver, characters galore, cutting a promo just to build it up. And I'm like, you took my two loves and mashed them together. And it
Yeah.
seems like somebody with your background who was going to the NYU Film Academy, somebody who grew up loving movies, and somebody who's got your looks like, fuck, I can take all of my passions and put into this ball called pro wrestling. Little did you know it was a fucking horrible business.
I mean, showbiz is showbiz. Like, you got to think. Like,
Yeah.
now that I'm a grown ass woman, of course, as an 18-year-old child, I didn't know any better. But the modeling world was just a savage. The acting world is just a savage. And then, I mean, I see what my mom went through as a nurse, even in the regular community as an RN. Like, that's pretty savage. So I just. The wrestling community is what it is, and I wish I was better prepared as an 18-year-old child. I was very innocent when I entered this business, but I mean, we live and we learn. But yeah, we have similar backgrounds. It was basically a mixture of both passions and both like I said, my athletic background, my theater background, and I was like, let's fucking do this. And that's when I decided to. I didn't want to just be a mark in tights. And I know that's kind of
Right.
rude to say, but it is what it is. I wanted it to be the best of the best. So if I was going to go to acting school, why wouldn't I go to wrestling school? So I
Yeah.
wanted to go like to the colleges, the Harvards, the
Mhm.
Juilliards, you know? So I did some research and I ended up at Funaki's school. And he had his own school at the time, and it was 2015 and 16 when I was under
Mhm.
him. And I trained under Funaki, and then that's when I had the opportunity to train under Rikishi, and that was out in LA, and that was on at 2016 into 17.
Mhm.
So
And this is what I want to go into, because right now, if somebody wants to become a pro wrestler, there's schools everywhere. I mean, any former pro wrestler
everywhere, there's
who's had
so
some
many
TV
schools.
time, and people who haven't had TV time open up a wrestling school. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. They didn't have that many wrestling schools back then. They were very selective on who they wanted to let in. You came in during that transitional period. But when you look at today, somebody wants to become a pro wrestler. Somebody actually makes it to the WWE. They've got a performance center. They've got
That's nice.
studios. They've got all this shit to protect you. You did it the hard way. You did it the way of the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, where you were on the road homeless and sleeping in your car for your craft. Why did you go the hard route?
So, like, a lot of people, yeah, it's one of those things where I didn't want to play politics, and I didn't want to buy my way or sleep my way
Mm-hmm.
or politic my way. I wanted to work my way, and I wanted to be a pro and a professional. I'm not one of these people that will just sit down, watch WWE, mark out, go to Hot Topic, get some spandex, and then go and pretend to be a wrestler and grind on the indies and
Mm-hmm.
get a hot dog and handshake. I wanted to be a legit pro, so I had an opportunity to make a living out of this, so I could buy a house, so I can,
Yeah.
like I said, make a living out of it. So that's why I went and trained. And then why did I go the hard route, like as in my story? Because I'm poor,
Well,
like
it's a matter of, I mean, you could have stayed living at home saying, hey, mom and dad, I'm going to go to this school. It may not be the college you wanted me to go to or the aspirations you had for me, but I'm going to go here because that's my passion, my desire. At least just have a roof over your head, somebody's a support system there for you, unless you didn't have it.
I didn't. So, a lot of people watching this obviously are wrestling fans, and maybe their family's wrestling fans, or maybe a couple of their friends are wrestling fans and they
Mm-hmm.
watch wrestling together. I had nobody in my background, like from my community, that liked wrestling. I mean, like I stated before, I had a theater background and a dance background. I'm not saying you can't cross both worlds, but I didn't have friends that watched wrestling. I didn't
And you're
have
still in Arizona at this time.
Arizona through Ohio, and then
Okay.
Indiana, and even in Kentucky. So
All
I
right.
traveled, unfortunately, a lot as a kid. But a lot of no one in my family watched wrestling. And then even when I dipped my toe into wrestling, my family freaked out. My family thought wrestling was trash, and it was very trashy of me to even get involved. They really stuck their nose up to wrestling, and they don't understand it, and they called it that fake shit. And it was a very toxic environment. So when I decided to go to wrestling school, I was on my own, and the only person I had was my partner and friend Nathaniel, and he's not only my best friend to this day, but he was the only person that was like, hey, let's do this, and I'll help you and you'll help me. And
Mm-hmm.
we did it together. We went and trained at Funaki's, and we were homeless because we had to pay for these schools. And the most traumatic part was definitely at Rikishi's, when we slept out of our vehicle, which of course I filmed and documented it all. But basically, Nathaniel and I would work night shift, and then we'd go to Planet Fitness. We would work out at Planet Fitness, shower, brush our teeth, and then we'd go and sleep in our vehicle in the hot sun. And my vehicle was trash. It had, the air conditioning wouldn't work. So it'd be the daytime in
shit.
LA, and we'd try to sleep in our vehicle. And we would buy this like little battery operated little fan from Walmart, and we'd have to buy batteries weekly because they would run out. And
Right.
we would try to blow air on us as we would try to sleep for maybe 3 hours in the vehicle, and it would be blowing hot air on us. It was awful.
How long did you do this for?
7 months.
Okay, 7. All right. I mean, not that it's like, it's only 7 months. 7 days, 7 seconds is a long time to live in your car.
And then what we did after trying to sleep for a couple hours, we'd get up and go to class and go and train. And the way training is they'd have a list of chores when you got there. So the first 30 minutes to an hour of the class was to clean the school. And Nathaniel and I, where we were just like antsy to get going, we would take the list of chores and we'd run through and do it before the other students would get there. So a lot of the times, Nate and I would scrub the toilets and then mop out the ring and the mats and bleach the mats. And then by the time everyone got there, we're like, let's go, let's wrestle.
Yeah.
So then everyone would get there and we'd wrestle. And then after wrestling, we'd get in LA traffic and go back to our shoot job and work night shift. And it was really surreal. It was really crazy.
You found a school being run by Rikishi, being trained by Rikishi. You got a lot of kids out there that have the same dreams that you have of breaking into the wrestling business. A lot of them just probably in your same situation, not necessarily homeless, but never thinking, hey, maybe we could all get an apartment together. We'll all crash on the couch or on the floor. No camaraderie there? Was it all very competitive, even though you guys were all on the same path?
So a lot of them were locals. Like a lot of them were from that area and had family and had houses. So it's a strange environment, the wrestling community. And I've never been asked this question before. It was a good question. Everyone was really hospitable out there and everyone was really good to me and Nate there. Everyone knew we worked night shift and everyone knew about our living. But the thing is, Nate and I didn't want to ask for help. We never asked for help. And the one cool thing was after the 7 months, the reason we left was because of my injury. Right. And when we were leaving, Rikishi texted us and said, hey, come to class on Saturday, don't leave, because we were going to leave like Friday. And so we stayed one more day and we met up with Rikishi and he got us in front of the whole entire class, the whole entire school, and said, hey, these kids never asked for anything. These kids are professional wrestlers. And he hugged us and it was a really cool moment, his speech in front of everyone. And I'll never forget it. And I made some really good friends out there and I can't wait to see everyone again. It'll be great. And I just saw Rikishi just recently and it was pretty cool.
You know, they talk about the dark side of wrestling, and especially when you're vulnerable and you're in that position. And again, with all due respect, the way you look, I'm sure you walk into a school, they're like, yo, look. And people want to take advantage of that. They see you sleeping in a car. Were you ever propositioned by a wrestler, a trainer, a promoter, like, hey, shouldn't be sleeping like that. You're too pretty to be sleeping like that. I got you. Come here. And did you ever encounter any of those scumbags in the business that trying to take advantage of you because of your situation, because of your looks?
Of course. Not specifically in LA, but yes, of course. All throughout my wrestling career, I have faced, again, this wasn't in LA, but I've had people throughout from 2011 to now basically implying I'll get you an audition or I'll get you a spot or I'll get you this. And I've had a lot of offers, and the reason I'm where I'm at right now is, of course, because my injury. That's been 6 years. But the other reason, why did you decide to go this route? Like, why did you do this? You really suffered, you really sacrificed. Yeah, it's basically because I don't suck dick to get to the top. And that's the truth. And if people knew all the people that did sleep their way to the top, if they knew the names and all the spots that they got, it'd be insane. And everyone's like, man, you really had to endure and really had to suffer. And it's like, yeah, because I don't suck dick.
Yeah, and you know, and that's one of the amazing. When I heard about, again, I'm not gonna lie, your looks is what got me. Like, who's this?
You can tell the ones that suffer are the ones that don't sleep with people.
Right.
You can tell the people that actually earn their spots.
And I'm like, she slept in a car. She fucking went through the injury, which we're gonna get into there because there's a whole journey we're gonna talk about.
I shit and pissed in cups, bro.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you.
Wet wipes on my asshole.
You're shitting in a McDonald's. What size McDonald's cup you using?
I had to use a fucking large. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
Seen my ass cheeks?
I've seen your ass. That's why I was concerned, because the size of those cheeks. I mean, you how much how much shit can you fit in a cup, in a McDonald's cup?
Don't ask that question.
I'm just wondering. I mean, you ever see two girls in one cup?
Sir. I am a lady.
You never had an accident? You accidentally shit in your hand? Knocked the cup over?
No! No! Did you just ask me that?
I'm just saying, you know, it's a rough thing. You squatting outside, there's no props.
I have an accident shit in my hand. Fuck you. No, I have not, you motherfucker. You trying to zoom in on me? That's why I'm not on the camera. Bitch. Have I ever had an accident shit in my hand? No, but I've shit and pissed in a cup for wrestling. That's what I've done.
I'm saying, yo, 2 girls, 1 cup was a big thing back in the day. You might have missed out on that. You could have made your money there.
No, I was too young for that shit. My guy friends that are like 5 years older than me had to tell me about that stuff. Never Googled it, thank God.
Oh, man, that shit was disgusting. There we go. Boom.
I heard about the guy 1 jar or whatever. Why are you still zoomed in? My hair.
Well, because you weren't there before. So,
right
all right,
here.
I'll zoom back
1
out.
minute,
Here we
zoom
go.
back in. Zoom back in.
Oh, zoom back in so you can get your shit together. There you go.
Yeah,
You look
well,
better
that's
like
it.
this. I like this. This is a good
You
look.
like this one? Like, is it too zoomed out? I'm on my couch right now, but my hair extension was doing something wacky right there.
We get to see more of you in this one. You're close up. There's too much of my logo in the other. Check this out.
Oh,
Boom. You're
close
far
up?
back. Look, I'll
Where's
switch back in a
my
few minutes.
logo? Why is my logo not on this?
Because it's my podcast. Don't worry, I'm gonna add this shit on there later.
Here.
Jesus Christ. I didn't get your fucking writer of demands. What else you want?
I want my logo on here.
We're gonna put it on. We're gonna show some videos too later on when we cut this thing up for you. All right. Let's get a little serious though. I want to talk about this injury. This injury
that's why I was trying to bring up my logo. My logo is serious. I'm trying to save lives, and you're trying to let people die by not advertising me.
You suffer the injury while you're training. Puts you in a wheelchair for 2 years. You're still in the car at this point?
Nearly 3 years. Correct yourself, sir.
Okay, excuse me.
Like, you're supposed to do research. How embarrassing.
Funny, the research I did was your other interviews. You said it. You're the fucking source.
Yeah, it was like 2-3 years.
Okay, there we go. 2-3 years. All right.
I'm just trying to be mean. No. It's like, honestly, like my years, like the way that I was injured in the springtime, and then the way that it would fade into the next year. That's my year. So it's like all my years go by like fall. And then, like, I don't know. It's weird. They blur. My years
But you got injured and continued to train, and until you got diagnosed.
That was the dumbest part.
That's what I'm saying. So by the time you got to the wheelchair, you spent about 2 years in the wheelchair, maybe a little over 2 years. But you were injured longer than that.
Yeah. So
okay, so we're accurate.
We're accurate. Okay.
There we go.
All right. So rough draft. I'm gonna give you actually the new and revised. So this is going to be the update. So this is going to be this is going to be new juicy details. Okay.
Breaking.
So I'm going to give the story now with my new details. So basically, guys, in 2017, I had been out at Rikishi's for like 7 months, and I was in like one of the student matches, and as I was supposed to land on the apron, but I landed outside of the ring on the concrete, and I ended up suffering an injury. And basically the injury was torn ligaments, and that was the initial injury.
In your feet?
Yes, in both feet.
Okay.
At the bottom of both feet in the arch.
All right.
So basically everyone's like, well, you've been out for like 6.5 years. What do you mean? So this 2024 in the spring is 7 years. 7 years. Damn, that's a whole entire career. So it was torn ligaments, but it was actually I developed an illness, and it's called CRPS, and I immediately developed it because
CRPS is complex regional pain syndrome, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And we can go into detail on that later. But basically, as you said, I continued. And as I had the torn ligaments, I ended, because I continued to sleep out of my vehicle, because I continued to train, because I continued to weight lift, I developed an illness. And it is what we just said, complex regional pain syndrome. And the scariest part, guys, is I went undiagnosed this whole entire time. And basically, You can get injured, whether it was a severe injury from a car accident or you sprain your ankle, whatever it is. Once you develop CRPS, whatever injury you had, you heal from, but the CRPS has developed, and now you have this disease, this illness that's throughout your body, and it's non-curable.
But had you handled the torn ligaments in both your feet earlier, sooner, not trained on it, would you have developed CRPS? Could you have prevented it by taking care of it sooner? Fuck.
There's theories. There's theories.
Okay, it's not 100%, but there's a better chance.
And there was a chance that if they caught it sooner, and even if I did develop CRPS as soon, let's say I just developed it as soon as I tore my ligaments. Let's say it just happened immediately. They say it's best to catch it in the earliest stages to put you in remission immediately. I've been doing research. I'm a part of support groups, and we help educate each other. Other sufferers help educate each other, and we ask questions for from everything that our doctors say. And basically from what they have told me is it's best to get it as soon as it happens and not 6 years after suffering it, because CRPS, it's crazy. Because when you get an illness, like, say that you have an illness of the blood, like diabetes or whatever, you detect it through the blood. Okay. Say you get an illness of the bones, like you just detect it through x-rays. Like say you get an illness, what's another one? Like cancer, through the cells. So you study the cells. CRPS is non-detectable. And there's 2 different stages. There's a CRPS, there's stage 1 and stage 2. And one of them is you have nerve damage, and then the other one isn't. But the thing is, it's the same symptoms for each. And basically, with CRPS, not only is there no cure, you basically, to get diagnosed, you have to go down the list of everything it could be.
Stages.
Yeah. And I spent 6 years of being butchered by doctors, having the nerve surgeries, having the muscle surgeries. I've had multiple different foot surgeries that have made me wheelchair bound to the point where I can't even go to the toilet and take a shit if I wanted to. I couldn't go and stand in a shower and bathe my body. I was bedridden. And the medical community just scratched their heads, and they were like, "Oh, I don't know what this is."
And it never came up as an option. As in, maybe she's got CRPS.
Never. Because there's some doctors out there that don't believe it exists. And then there's other doctors out there that are scared that they're the ones that did it. So I'm not going to say too much right now, but basically my new doctor that has diagnosed me has pulled my files, and there is an investigation going on. So,
well, hopefully that works out for you financially, but I know you're going to be in pain forever. Like this, they call this the suicide disease. You're in pain forever. It's just a matter of when I wake up today, what level is it going to be at?
Exactly. And it can fluctuate. So say I wake up and it's a level 5, and for a normal human, a level 5 is like, shit, let's go to the ER. Well, my level 5 is like, holy shit, a level 5. Yeah, it's not a level 10. Woo. So then I'll go to work, and then certain pains start to creep in, and I'll have to run to the bathroom and cry like a little bitch, and then be like, it's okay, let's get through it. And then I'll go back out there and I'll work, and then I'll go cry again in my vehicle, and then it's like, okay, you can get through it. And then I'll go to the gym.
And what are you taking for that? Is there medications? Obviously, take painkillers, but we know what painkillers does to people. It becomes addictive.
So the studies with CRPS, like there's hardly any studies. So we're just learning. We're learning it's like the cryptozoology of illnesses, because it's like it's still unknown. There's no test for it. You can't test.
You're like
blood.
the fucking Lou Gehrig of CRPS. Like they're gonna use you and experiment on you to help others. Exactly.
And it's so cruel and unfortunate, but I'm the guinea pig right now, and I'm learning. So unfortunately, my doctor, who has before she became a nurse, she studied was under a nurse. She was a nurse under a neurologist, and studied him for like 15 years. And she saw all these CRPS people come through, and she saw their pain and suffering. And when she saw me come through, So when you get diagnosed with CRPS, they start pumping you with pills, and it's like it just go numb, go numb. It's like, we're sorry, there's nothing we can do, go numb. So people become addicted to these, or they become reliant on these, and they
Yeah.
can't bear to go without them. And what is the long-term effect of this pill? Oh, that will attack their heart. Or what's the long-term effect of this pill? Oh, that attacks the kidneys. So you're killing yourself either way. And then when my doctor found out that I showed up because she treated CRPS people, and I had been in contact with one of her patients, so I was referred. And when I came through those doors, it was like, how are you still with us? And I was like, I don't know.
Wow.
I was like, I'm a dumbass. I don't know. And
Mhm.
she's like, you have CRPS and you had no pills, nothing to, nothing. And I was like, yeah, because everyone around me said I was being a pussy and to get the fuck over it and maybe go on a diet and lose some pounds.
What? They fucking
That,
said that to you? That
yeah,
you were putting too much weight on your injured feet, and that's what was causing the pain?
yeah,
Motherfuckers. Doctors were saying that too?
yeah.
Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry that you went through that.
Family
And again,
members were saying that. Family members were saying I had back surgery, get the fuck over it. I had family members say I had broke foot, get the fuck over it. I've had people say I had cancer, get the fuck over it. And I had one of my last doctors, which was like an NFL guy, like he was the higher up. I went through 10 different doctors. Everyone might think 6 years, goddamn, you must have been lazy and not on it. No, I stayed on top of this. I was on top of this shit. And I went all the way up the ladder. I was like, send me to your superiors, send me to. And I went all the way up. And the last guy was like convinced that I was just a little fatty. And my arch, where they released the ligament, that my arch and my bones must have been caving in, and that must have been the pain. So all I needed to do was get out of a wheelchair, lose some weight, and then the pain would be fine and lessen, and then he wouldn't have to rebuild my arch. So that's what I was told.
So, I mean,
And
you're a built girl. I'm not saying you're fat, you're thick. I'm saying, you got the areas that people pay to watch, right? Granted, that's your moneymaker. If you were to lose a little bit of weight, I'm not being funny about this. If you were to lose a little bit of weight, does it lessen the amount of pain that you're in or the triggers of the pain?
so that's the thing. I am in the process of losing weight.
Okay.
And to be fair, when the last doctor that even that even mentioned weight, to be fair, when I was in the wheelchair, I did put on 100 pounds. But when they made me custom arches and I taught myself how to walk again by myself, no physical therapist. I even filmed it and documented it, and I have all the footage of me. I went to Planet Fitness, and when I learned how to walk again, by the end of the year, like I lost the 100 pounds, right? So now in theory that I want to get into physical fitness and get as small as possible. So yeah, to put some weight off my feet. So in theory, yes, but this is all experimental. So we'll see.
Right.
But with that being said, it's more so about what we're putting in our bodies, like like the inflammatories.
Right.
There are studies going on about the inflammatory foods. There's studies about more so of a vegan diet. And I've been in contact with this girl that has CRPS, and she's been living a vegan diet, and she says she's put herself in remission. So
Okay, so there's hope. There's hope. There's options.
But the thing is, remission means we still have it, and we just have to monitor it because we can always go back.
Right.
This one person had it in their leg. They went into remission through, I think they were doing the ketamine infusion treatment, so the IV infusions, and they put themselves in remission, and then they broke their arm, and they developed it in their arm. This other person broke their foot, and it spread throughout their whole entire body.
With the amount of pain that you're dealing with, at any time, do the doctors suggest amputation, prosthetics? Like, would that help? Or is it still nerve damage that will travel throughout other parts of your body? Is it just something that, your feet are injured now, but we get rid of your feet, it's just going to go somewhere else. It's going to spread somewhere else to your body.
So that's what's been driving me crazy. So The best way to explain CRPS is, yes, in our brains we think trigger warning,
Mm-hmm.
kill ourselves, like in our lives, like just don't do it.
Yeah.
Like just like we can't stand it anymore. That's what's in our minds all the time. And then if that's not in our minds, another thing in our minds, whether it's CRPS in your hand, whatever limb
Mm-hmm.
CRPS is in, it's in both my feet. I've had for 6 years, as I was abandoned and alone and dealing with CRPS without even knowing it, the world's most painful pain without any medicine, without any relief.
Mm-hmm.
I had dreams about amputation. I was like,
Wow.
man, just chop off my legs. And it is a trigger of mine. Whenever I
Okay.
do see someone with an amputation, it does like trigger me when I'm in public sometimes. And I'm working on that with my therapist. But
A positive trigger or negative? Like you say, like, oh, that shit don't look too bad. I could deal with that. Or like, no, absolutely, I'm not walking around like that. I'm gonna fight through this.
um a negative trigger of
Okay. You want to
I
keep your
feel
feet.
sorry. I feel sorry for them, and
Yeah.
I always felt like that was my destiny because, like, I would have nightmares of waking up on the operating table and them sawing off my legs, and I had
Mm.
nightmares of waking up and the amputation has already happened, and it's both legs,
And there's no
and
turning back. Once it's done,
yeah,
it's done.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I've had these nightmares for 6 years, and then now I know it's CRPS.
Mm-hmm.
Before I started slowly educating myself on it, and we'll get to that. I'm like, well, what if I just chop it off? Like, okay, so the CRPS is just there, right? So I've been educating myself, and it seems like you've really educated yourself, which you're very intelligent and you're really badass for actually being professional and educating yourself. You're the first person to actually research this, so thank you for that. And it's in our system. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so I injured my feet. It's in my system. This woman got pregnant and they gave her a C-section. Can you guess where it's at now? A man,
Abdominally, she has the abdomen or in her vagina.
I think it's in
Well, it was a
abdomen.
C-section, so abdominal. Okay. Yeah.
Um, this man went in and I'm a part of this group. It's from the horse's mouth. These people are
Uh huh.
saying it. The woman that had the baby typed it out. The guy that has CRPS that I'm about to say, he had a colonoscopy. Do you know where CRPS is now? It's spreading throughout his fucking organs.
My God.
This is like the Bigfoot of
Wow.
diseases. And
Yeah.
then
This is.
we get mocked when we speak what doctors are
Uh huh.
researching on, what scientists are researching on. We get mocked when we say what people are telling us. And this, like, I have been told that this is pain is worse than cancer. And one of the people that I know that has CRPS, they just got diagnosed also with cancer, and they actually confirmed that it's like, yeah, I can kick this ass. I can kick cancer's ass. This is nothing. Like, I mean,
Double
we're
whammy.
having
Holy shit.
doctors say the pain is worse, and then people get mad, and it's like, it's called the suicide disease for a reason because
Yeah.
the pain we're in, like, this is taboo, and everyone's different.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is different, so I speak for myself when I say I wish there was a deadline to this illness because this is bullshit. This is life.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a pain of cancer, like you get the levels of pain. List the worst pain in the world, and then put CRPS above it. This is the worst pain you can feel, and I'm condemned the rest of my life to feel this. How fucking
At 31, and
yeah.
technically younger than that. So
I was
the rest of your
20.
life.
I had just turned 25 years old when I first tasted
Man.
and felt this. And I suffered in darkness and in silence. Like I was told to suck it up, that my pain was nothing. And I was told that, hey, you're lucky. There's people that are amputated out there. Hey, you're lucky. There's people with cancer out there. Hey, you're lucky. There's people that are dying out there. Hey, there's people that are dying in wars and
Mm-hmm.
soldiers in war, and they have worse PTSD than the shit you're talking about. And then it turns out I have soldiers in my DMs talking about PTSD, and they actually have friends that have PTSD from war, but the
Mm-hmm.
injury they got in battle, they
The
developed
CRPS.
CRPS, and they're reaching out to me because they heard I had CRPS, and
Mm-hmm.
from the horse's mouth, the PTSD from CRPS is worse than the PTSD of battle. From the
Jeez.
horse's mouth. That's what was said. And I'm like, I'm going to start saying
Yeah.
this shit on podcasts, and you guys are going to get me killed because someone's going to have a son that died in war, and I can't say this. And then someone's grandma is going to die of cancer, and I can't fucking say this because I got big
But you're
kids
giving
and I
the
have blonde
awareness. Like, it took you 6 years to figure out that you had it. The doctors are still fucking mystified by it. So if you, on a podcast, whether it's this or not, whatever podcast, your forums, your support groups, can open up people's eyes and say, hey, are you suffering from these symptoms? Do you feel like this? Do these things trigger you? Have you had a previous injury? Like, you don't fucking know. What you're doing now is you're an ambassador of CRPS.
That's my mission, and goddamn do you get crucified. And it's like, whoa, guys, remember, I'm crippled. I'm in pain. I hurt. Be nice. Like, I have to tell people. And it's like they just don't get it. Because can you imagine, like, the worst pain you've ever felt? Can you imagine putting that in the bottom of your feet and told, don't shut it off? And just live your life?
No.
It's awful.
No.
It's like it's hard to grasp. And man, before my injury, I had every woes any like 20-something-year-old kid would have. You know, boys and school and drama and politics and all that stuff. You know, just the woes of any young girl. What dumb shit. What dumb shit.
Now it's all light shit. Bring that. I'll deal with that.
I would like fucking deep that shit all day. Like, are you fucking kidding me? God. And
tell me about. You've been documenting the journey, and
I have it all documented. Yes.
Tell me about wrestling with CRPS. That's the project you've been working on, and my main concern, like again, you've been documenting since day one. From the injury, you living in your car, dealing with it, being diagnosed with it, the depression you went through, the recovery process. The problem is, though, is there an ending to the story? If you're going to be dealing with this forever, where does it end?
So now you guys are getting towards the, I've been climbing up the mountain, and now you're about to see me go down, and in a positive way. And it's like everything that I've been working for is about to happen. I'm finally diagnosed. I finally am validated. And my suffering, I survived. I survived without taking pills. I survived without killing myself. I survived and I did this. And I think I survived because I'm meant to be an ambassador and a voice for CRPS, because even my doctor said that, unfortunately, she thinks I went through this for a reason, because she's seen so many people suffer with CRPS. She's seen so many people kill themselves over CRPS. And she says that she believes that I went without the drugs and went without because like, okay, take me in a wheelchair and you're told, hey, the pain you're in, it's the worst pain anyone could ever feel. Woo, it's worse than cancer. Woo. It's like, oh my God. Would I have ever got out of that wheelchair? Would I have ever fought through that pain? Would I have been on drugs? Would I have became an addict? Would I want to do some harder shit? Where would I be right now? Would I have killed myself?
And I've seen the videos. I've seen from the beginning, from the injury to you being in the wheelchair. And sometimes for people out there who aren't as strong mentally and emotionally as you are, their story ends in the wheelchair. Well, now here I am. I'm bound. I can't use my legs anymore. You're a fucking warrior. You kicked out on 2 with the injuries.
There's the people that stay in the wheelchairs, they're valid. The people that do pills, they're valid. The people that ended the battle the way they've ended it, they're valid. I will never disgrace anyone.
Of course not. Of
but,
course. I mean, everybody's willpower is different. But the fact of what you've shown is that it is possible if you dig deeper inside.
Everyone's acting like I'm some kind of superhero, and it's like, this isn't fucking Marvel. This is real life, bitches. Like, it's fucking insulting sometimes because it's like, I'm not some superhero. I'm a real life bitch.
But your story, that person who might have given up in the wheelchair might see your story like, fuck, it's possible. Yeah, I'm still going to be dealing with the pain. But if I can fucking take a couple of steps again, instead of being wheelchair bound because they saw you do it, that's fucking huge. That's huge. That's on the same level of what Diamond Dallas Page has been doing with his yoga for the last 15 years or whatever it's been.
So the what's next is I I'm medically cleared to bodybuild, and I'm medically cleared to start getting back in the ring and rolling around and wrestling.
Congratulations. Hold on. Let's get the fake studio audience.
Thank you guys. The audience is so amazing. I couldn't have done it without you. And so anyway, so basically she said, just monitor the pain and do you and try, you know, because I'm in pain and I have flare-ups. And so what's next is just to peek around the curtain. I'm trying to find an organic, holistic way to go into remission. I'm trying to find a way. It's my project to find herbs and remedies to if I could put myself I think I put myself, because the pain I was in 6 years ago is not the person you see right now. Like right now, I think I put myself halfway into remission because I'm in chronic pain still, but it's not what it was when I got out of that wheelchair. So I think I am finding an organic way to cure this. And I don't know, or maybe I'm supposed to be a beacon to where I bring awareness to this and some smart scientist finds a cure. I don't know, but I know that I put myself into remission halfway by my organic training in the gym. And I've been talking to this woman about veganism and what she's done. And I think, you know, you mentioned Diamond Dallas Page with his yoga. I'm thinking I'm onto something that can help people at least lessen the pain to CRPS. And
So
that's
just
what I'm going to be doing.
Wrestling with CRPS isn't a documentary in the making. It's actually just documenting the journey as you go along it.
Both.
Okay.
So basically it is my project and my logo. So I do own it. But I have organically been documenting this guerrilla style this whole time, but I have also been in contact with certain doc crews, and I have pitched the project to the Discovery Channel, and I filmed with one of their producers last year for a pilot and like to be pitched, and hopefully this spring we will wrap up that idea of that pilot at WrestleMania this year, because I will be in town.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now here's a question, and I hope it doesn't trigger you. Okay.
Oh, thank you for the trigger warning. Thank you.
Okay. If for lack of a better term, this CRPS has handicapped your career, and if you can't, I know you're cleared to wrestle in a weight train again and stuff like that, which is great, but if you can't pass a major promotion's physical, where does your career go? What is it? What are you gonna do? What's it all for?
Just because I'm not on TV doesn't mean I'm not a wrestler. And
That's a great way to say it.
I believe it or not, okay, so the theater nerd and geek came out all throughout my training, and Rikishi had to pull me aside and tell me one day that I needed to rethink my thinking, because one of my things, and you could say it was the theater snob in me, but I never wanted to go to TV. I wanted to be like on the indies and travel to Japan and do make a career on the indies and buy a house. I just wanted to stay humble and make a living out of it, but it was going to be the indies for me. But then when I trained at Rikishi, one of the things he said to me was, WWE should be your goal. So I had to reevaluate my thinking. And so now with my illness, WWE is the goal. So I can bring a grander scale and a grander awareness to this illness, and then also bring hope to so many people. Yay, babyface me. I look like such a babyface. Kids, Google me. You know what I mean?
The fact that you have a goal there, and again, the reason why I brought it up is because with the goal comes that perception of, you know, great, we called you to the tryout. We love what you look like. We love how you work in the ring, but you can't pass the physical.
I feel like I would, but say for some dumb reason I couldn't, then I'll go back to my old dreams, and I'd be so happy to make a living on the indies and bring awareness, and I'd be greater awareness. You know how many people just turn down contracts after contracts because they're happy where they're at?
No, you're right. And again, I've heard you say numerous times.
I'm not about, like, you know, clout and fame and fortune, but you know,
No, and I've heard you say in other interviews that your goal was never about the fame or the major
Yeah.
promotions or the money, but at some point, realistically, at 31 and with your condition now, you got to think of insurance, you got to think of long-term planning, you got to
Yeah.
think of aging out of the business. How will
Yeah.
you protect yourself as those later years come by?
Exactly. That's exactly like the different things that you have to think about being handicapped. And that's why I got legally diagnosed. That's why I had my shoot job with insurance. I protected myself throughout this entire injury. And now that I'm going to dip my toe back into wrestling, it gives me such a beautiful hope for the future.
Well, I'm so happy for you, and you are an inspiration. And so we
I hope
don't
to
end
write
things
a
up.
book one day, you know?
Well,
Like,
shit.
maybe
I mean, you've got all the knowledge, you've got all the research. You are the subject. Why not? It's out there, and there are people that are suffering from it that can learn from you. These fucking people are gonna lose their mind if I don't talk a little bit more wrestling with you before I let you go. So
That's fine. I'm going to bed as soon as we log off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna keep you on long. We talked about you being part of this this women's revolution. But now, do you see yourself as an active competitor? I mean, considering with your condition and stuff like that, could you see yourself as an active competitor competing in the ring, or are you gonna remain valeting?
Oh, 1,000%. I am a wrestler, and I will be wrestling.
Okay. So
Yes,
you're gonna be hitting them ropes
1,000%.
again. Okay.
And I don't want people to be prejudiced against me or gentle with me. I do want to bring awareness to my illness, but the whole goal is to be in as close, if not into remission as possible when I'm in the ring. And
Okay.
I want to be treated equally. I want to bring hope to all the babies out there that are still in wheelchairs, that are thinking about offing themselves. Like, I have this father in my DMs. He has a little boy, a little baby, 14-year-old child that has it in their spine, and like it's not fair. It's not fair. It makes the person question, what kind of world are we living in to have an illness like this?
Yeah.
Like, it seems like something made up in fictional times. Like, it seems like something from an alien like movie. It's not fair to have this disgusting illness that we have to linger in existence. So it's the worst pain a human can be in, and we're meant to linger, but that's good because it's not going to kill us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. No. It's
It's either going to be the drugs they put in us that's going to kill us. What are the long-term effects on my organs from just this illness? What is the pressure going to do to my organs? And then also, I know I have IBS. Well, now I have inflammatory IBS because of CRPS. I have fibromyalgia, and it is the worst type of fibromyalgia because of my CRPS. It basically makes all of your weaknesses worse and enhanced.
Oh, shit. So I'm guessing when you go out on dates, you gotta like, listen, let me give you my medical history before you.
Listen,
let me
if
know
you
what
want
you're
to
dealing
fuck, don't feed me.
with. Or bring a McDonald's cup at least. Do that. Do me the solid.
Hate you.
I mean,
need to make a logo with a McDonald's cup. Oh my G.
Yes.
But so I don't get sued, it has to be like a different style.
You
You
know
know,
what-
but it's obviously McDonald's.
Yeah, but I mean, you take the McDonald's logo. I mean, listen, this would be a great T-shirt. It's a cup with the shape of McDonald's, and instead of like an ice cream cone, it's the shit emoji coming out the cup with the googly eyes.
Love it. Love it. Pay my I will say we need to make this. We need to pay my designer to make this logo. I love it.
You know, we were talking earlier about you choosing wrestling and everybody like just like giving you the stank eye about it. I mean, with your looks, I'm sure you've heard it a million times. You got the porn star looks. You never thought about going a different route with this? I know you've got an OnlyFans. I want to talk about that.
Are you asking if I should be a porn star? Or
No, I'm not saying if you asked you to be a porn. I'm saying you could have been other things with your looks.
Are you asking me if I have fucked on camera, sir?
No, I'm not asking if you fucked on camera. I'm saying is there could have been a career in you fucking on camera. That's a different
Dude,
story.
dead ass, do you want to? Oh my god, do you want to hear? Okay, so
Yes, I want to hear it.
All right, so I'm just like an 18-year-old innocent little angel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in a locker room, and this grown-ass man, like old enough to be my dad, he came into the locker. I think he was like managing one of the guys back there or some shit.
Yeah.
And I guess he was like a low-budget porn director, and he wanted me in one of his projects, and I literally thought he was joking.
Mm-hmm. And then you saw his Gonzo films. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, I didn't fucking research him. No, I did not. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. What?
Like, how much we talking? I don't know.
I no. I was embarrassed. I clutched my pearls. I was like, this isn't the theater.
But I'm saying, I mean, I'm sure people, like they said, they throw the thing, but you decided to go into a combat sport instead of being a model. I mean, I know you do modeling, but you're not doing that full time.
Yeah, I mean, like I modeled for my college and I did different gigs growing up, but no, like I loved the theater, I loved modeling, I loved acting, and eventually it would have like I was offered different film roles, and like I did different things growing up, but the reason I chose wrestling, I think, is because I fell in love with it. Because as a manager, that was just something to put on my resume. I wasn't in love with managing and valeting. Like, it was something for my resume. And then when I fell in love with the business, I was like, you know what? I have this athletic background. I can fucking do this, bro. Like, I have this huge resume that could make me the perfect candidate to be a wrestler. But like, okay, so my friend that I've surrounded myself with people that could make a living out of this. If I want to be a pro, I want to be around the pros. You don't want to be the smartest person at the table. If you're the richest person in the room, you don't want to be in that room. You want to be the poorest person in the room. You want to better yourself. So one of the people I surrounded myself with was Nate, and Nate was training at OVW when they were in, I think they were Impact territory at the time or TNA territory at the time, developmental. And at OVW, they had Rip Rogers, and he was training under Rip. And basically, the way it's explained is, especially this is how WWE treats people. You can take someone off the streets and make them a wrestler, as opposed to taking some shitty indie wrestler that's picked up shitty indie habits and try to teach them the correct way. So I always had that installed when I was a valet. So I already knew that, like, I wanted to be the best of the best. So that's why I went to these schools, and that's why I wanted to better myself. I wanted to be the best. So why did I not become a porn star? Okay, so
I didn't say porn star. You said porn star. I was just saying you got a mashup of Mandy Rose and Khloe Kardashian. Just, I'm like, you could have made a living just fucking posing your life.
Listen. Okay, so low key, like, dead ass. Okay, so growing up as like a preteen, there was this show called The Girls Next Doors. Do you remember it? It had like the 3 hot blondes. I wanted to be them so bad, and this is how dumb I am. Okay, so you don't understand who I was when I got involved with wrestling. So this is who I was. So these girls live in that house, and they're so beautiful, and this old man takes care of them, and like they just have to pose nude, and I'm like, that's an artistic thing too.
They also got to suck his old balls.
I didn't fucking know that.
Oh, okay, right, because you were too young. I get you. Right. Okay.
No, like dead ass. Someone had to tell me when I was like dead ass. I was like probably like 25 when I found that. Like I didn't know they fucked him.
You just thought that they were his favorite models for his magazine. You didn't know that he was smashing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I thought I would be one of them when I grew up. Like, because I knew I wanted to be an actor, and I was like, and I respected the physical physique, because I always said, as soon as I grow up and I get in the best shape of my life, I want like awesome nudes of me, because then I can, when I get old and wrinkly, I could be like, yeah, I was hot.
I was that, right.
So I always looked up to like the girls next door and them posing nude. I thought they were so beautiful, and I just wanted to be them so badly and so confident. So I didn't know they were fucking him. Okay.
All right, but now they got OnlyFans, and you can pose without the old balls. So it's like, tell me about your fucking. I haven't subscribed. I haven't been on OnlyFans, but tell me about what kind of content you got on there.
You haven't subscribed?
No, I haven't been on them. My wife will fucking cut my head off if she sees my credit card with the fucking OnlyFans. Like, bing, 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 bing. Yeah, I'd be fucking tipping everything. I'm like, oh, another nipple. Bing.
Let's respect her mental health. Let's respect the wife. I'm a team woman. Subscribe and find out.
Oh, subscribe and find. Come on, give me a teaser. No, I'm not saying give me a teaser. I'm saying what kind of content, like, they know who you are. Well, I mean, all right, how much you charge a month?
10. It's like 9 something.
That's reasonable. Like, that's
yeah,
reasonable.
Right?
So if they like your personality here, $10 a month. Now, is it worth the $10 a month? I know to you it is, but I mean, it's
okay.
I'm
do
just
you
saying.
Think it's worth it? Do you think it? Like,
I'm saying there's a lot of competition out there, and these girls are fucking getting grimy. You know what I'm saying?
But also these bitches have like surgeries and they're perfect and beautiful. But if you want something more natural, then like subscribe.
Okay, fair enough. Listen, I'm giving you a platform to sales pitch your fucking OnlyFans.
If you're into into kinks and stuff, subscribe because, you know, hashtag crippled. If I have to be disabled the rest of my life,
Yo,
if I have to be, you
I
know,
want to make sure
it.
when you're saying the crippled kinks, you're calling yourself a cripple. You're not saying that you there with dudes in wheelchairs like, all right, you can't feel below the waist. Let's get it. It's not you and a cripple. You the cripple.
One involved. What do you
Okay,
mean?
you're the disabled one. All right, cool.
Have you been a part of this interview at all?
I know. I'm just
Did
saying,
you forget
like,
I was handicapped?
I'm just saying you're trying to sell it. So if you're selling it like, hey, I do cripples or I'm the cripple. I just want to clarify what it was.
Subscribe and find out. You're really like gonna let people down. You know, you're building me up for some like weird shit, and everyone's gonna be like, I'm gonna look for that. And then when they don't get that, they're gonna be disappointed.
And I'm giving you the platform to clarify what they're gonna get for the $9.99 a month.
I told you, subscribe to find out. Stop putting
all right,
ideas in people's heads.
Listen, if you guys are out there and you're interested in seeing the Black Dahlia doing whatever the fuck she does in OnlyFans, it's only $10. Even if you only do it for a month, just go fucking $10 and then report back to me. Put it in the comments. Let me know what the fuck's going on over
no
there.
cheating, no
I don't want the
screenshot.
content. Just let me know. Be like, yo, I see nipples. This shit looks like a fucking pepperoni pizza. It's like, you know.
Did you just accuse me of having pepperoni nipples? No,
I don't
don't.
know. I don't know. They like bologna. They the big round ones. Like they like
do
frisbee.
not have pepperoni nipples. Take it back.
I don't know. All right, I'm gonna have to spend $10 and find out. So
nipples are nipples, bitch. And we
Nah,
don't
nipples are different.
shame on this
nipples are different, man. No, man. They got little ones. They got the big ones. They got hairy ones. They got the ones that have been chewed on and fuck. Hell yeah, it's just
Oh wait, what about the ones that have been stretched?
Right, yo. I can't fuck with that. That's like extra fingers.
Imagine?
No.
Could you imagine?
Listen, you're about to lose my $10 if you got those kind of nipples. Let me know now.
Listen. What if you were what if your fantasy woman, like the hottest bitch you could ever imagine in the world, and she was about to like, you know, get it on with you, but then you saw her nipples and they were the like really like the long stretch ones. I'm talking, they look like Viennese sausages.
Yo, I'm a titty fanatic, so the titties got to be right. If she could be the most beautiful everywhere else, those titties are rough. That's a deal breaker.
No, but what about the nipple? The tits.
The nipple's a nipple, yeah, but that means I like to play with the fucking titties, and if those nipples are like like chewed up bubble gum, nah.
No, bitch. Listen, as you're playing with her titties, though, you got like a little Viennese sausage.
Nah, dude, that's like a little dick coming out the fucking titty. I'm not doing that. Not
like,
fucking.
Your face. Put me on the wide string for that. Put me on the wide.
Oh yeah, let's get that. Let's get that shot.
Okay,
so
imagine the titties in your face like this, but then like she has the pointy stretch. You know, like how people I think people in the circus do the stretch, the weights. You've seen that on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yes.
They put the weights on the end and they stretch it. So when they get hard, aren't they like long? I don't know.
They like your pinky finger coming out of a nipple. I don't want
that. So like a Viennese sausage.
No, man.
So
you try sucking on a titty. It's like baby dick. No, I'm not fucking with that.
It's like a Salma Hayek. It's like the hottest bitch in the world. Like
Salma Hayek got nipples like that?
Yeah. Like what if?
Oh, you saying what if? I thought you knew you were confirming that Salma Hayek got fucking little dicks on her titties.
Personally.
Ew. That'd be fun.
No, but like what I'm saying is, what if a Salma Hayek was on top of you, and then that was the one thing? Is that a make or break deal thing?
Listen, I tried anything one time, but it's I'm not keeping that. Like if I'm with Salma Hayek and I see the tip, like, oh, all right, just one time. That's it.
No,
like, yeah.
You worship her for the goddess she is.
Yo, I don't titty shame. I'm not trying to titty shame. Yo, all right, so like, and more realistically, if a girl had hair around her nipples, I want to like, yo, can we get the fucking clippers and trim that shit up? It's like, you gotta have limits, dude.
What? She's like, yeah, I want to shave your nipples too, though. Equal right.
Dude, I shave my nipples. I'm a well-groomed dude. I'm not a fucking beast.
I would never ask anything of my partner that I want to do myself.
Exactly.
I'm not saying I have hairy nipples though, because that's not a thing though. For the record.
$9.99, you'll find out. OnlyFans, check it.
Subscribe.
Last question for you. I heard, I don't know if this is true. I heard that you have a conspiracy theory about Miss Elizabeth's death.
Huh?
Somebody said that you have a conspiracy theory about Miss Elizabeth. Is that true?
No.
No? Really?
What?
I heard that there was something where it was brought up where you were talking about valets and inspirations to get into the business, and you were looking at stuff, and then you were like, oh, by the way, I've got this wild conspiracy theory about Miss Elizabeth's death. I'm like, oh, please say, and you never did. So now I want to be the one to get that info.
Oh, you must have misheard. I said Elizabeth Short's death.
Oh, fuck that. Damn it. All right.
Beans? What do you mean, fuck that? That's the Dahlia. That's the Black
I'm
Dahlia.
just saying, if you had a
Fuck that. Do you
conspiracy
not wanna
theory.
hear?
No,
Do
of
you
course I
not
want to
wanna
hear
hear?
that. I'm just saying wrestling fans don't want to hear that. And I was like, oh, that's a
Wrestling fans will
click.
wanna hear it if you want to hear it, and I.
All right, so
hear it.
then give me the conspiracy theory about Black Dahlia's death. Let me hear that
What do
one.
you think happened to the bitch?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't follow. I'm aware of it, but I don't follow it that deep.
I'll give you the rough backstory of what everyone
Okay.
knows, and then I'll tell you my conspiracy, and then we'll hang up.
Okay, bet. Let's go.
Okay, so everyone, imagine this: the 19. Don't look at me like that. So imagine this: the 1940s. This young, beautiful girl, she goes to Hollywood to become famous, and I quote, "I'll do anything to be famous." And unfortunately, people have took that and ran with it and implied she was a whore and would do anything to be famous. She wasn't, though. I don't think so. Anyway, so one day, it was 1947. A woman was pushing her baby in like one of those little carriage things, and it was like a park. And she thought she saw a mannequin in the grass, like one of those one of the mannequins in shop windows that hold, wear the clothes. Well, she thought it was like a naked mannequin doll. And when she got closer, she saw it was actually a dead body, and it was Elizabeth Short. So she went and got the police, and so trigger warning to everyone, but if you Google the Black Dahlia, you'll see her body, and she was nude. She was sawed in half. She was killed not on site, so her body was disposed like that to be found like that, unfortunately. And her breasts were sliced, and her nipples were basically removed. And then everyone thinks it's the Joker smile, but it's the Black Dahlia smile. They give her a permanent smile. So basically, the whole mystery is no one knows who did it, and they imply they think they know this doctor did it and stuff like that. So that's my wrestling gimmick. I'm basically like a Harley Quinn, multi-personality disorder, and I am the Black Dahlia. So that is the Black Dahlia gimmick. So basically, who killed Elizabeth Short? And all throughout the news, they called it the Black Dahlia because her favorite flower was dahlias, and back in the day, the girls would wear flowers on their chests and stuff, and so that's why they called it the Black Dahlia. So anyway, so did you know any of that so far?
I knew bits and pieces of it.
Some of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So my theory is she's an actress, and she's trying to get involved. Do you know what snuff films are?
Yep. You ever see 8mm with Nicolas Cage?
I did not. No, I haven't.
Go check it out. It's about snuff films.
Okay. So, what do you think?
You think that they made a snuff film?
Yeah. I guarantee.
Because she wanted to be an actress.
I guarantee she went to a fucking audition, and maybe she got the part, and she was some Illuminati fucking sacrifice. Tell me I'm not fucking wrong. They got her in a goddamn snuff film, and they disposed of her just like she was just a piece of meat, like a little girl that would do anything to be famous. She got involved with the wrong crowd. Tell me I'm not fucking wrong.
You could be, it's funny when you were telling me the story, and that you found her sawed in half. I'm thinking that she was going to be an assistant to a magician, and the box cutting trick went wrong. It was like, fucked up, and just, all right, get rid of this one, give me another chick. But then you said they clipped off the nipples, and maybe she had the long nipples with the things like that, and somebody was just collecting them. So who knows?
I love how you had to put that in. Like, we put the whole story, and there we go, full circle. Woo!
Come back full circle. That's how you do. You bring that joke right back.
Love it. No,
Girl.
Isn't that insane though? That poor
It is
girl.
Insane.
But
it is.
I just have a theory that she just got involved with the wrong crowd, and some Illuminati like big elite people got a hold of her, and she was just a victim, and it's so sad. And I hate how people interpret her in all the movies or American Horror Story. Like the first season 1, she was one of the ghosts in the house, and She's always depicted as like some kind of whore, and I'm just like, no, she was just a young, starry-eyed, fucking 22-year-old kid that just wanted to be famous and wanted to be an actor and be on the silver screen or whatever. And then she was.
But it's that quote that killed her legacy. Is like, I'll do anything to be famous. I'll do anything to break into the business. Like, oh yeah, anything. Come here. Yeah.
And then you know how the behind the scenes are in any type of freaking Hollywood, and it just sucks that happened to her, because what a brutal way to like dispose of someone's body and do that.
It is, right?
Tragic.
Like, at least now they throw hookers in the dumpster, so it's like, all right, just do it the right way.
You're bad. All right, guys, subscribe to my OnlyFans, look me up, follow my story. CRPS is real, and
and let them know again. It's Wrestling with CRPS, and where can they find you online? Let them know.
The Black Dahlia _47. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. Unfortunately, Facebook does make me flip my name because they want to let me put Black as the first name, so it's Dahlia Black on Facebook. But I'm on TikTok now, and OnlyFans. So guys, on Twitter or X or whatever. So.
All right, well, yeah, you know where to find her. Make sure you do. You will not be disappointed. Again, don't forget, OnlyFans, only $9.99 a month. Hit me in the comments. Let me know what's out there, or I'll let you know. Don't forget to don't forget to connect with us here at the Midnight Hustle.
Shit.
What? I'm not. No, we're not jacking your shit. I'm just like, yo. You want it? It's worth the money. Just like put it out there like that. Let us know what the nipples look like. At least let us know that much. All right. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you click. Make sure that you like. Make sure you tell your friends not only about the Midnight Hustle, but about the Black Dahlia. And girl, I need you to come back. Next time you come back, we're not going to be talking CRPS. We're not going to be talking pro wrestling, but I want you to come back with the Kill Billy Evil Nate so we can all talk about horror movies and our love for horror films.
Oh,
you in?
That sounds so fun. Yes, let's do it. Yeah.
All right, let's do it. We'll book it. And listen, you take good care of yourself, and you always got a spot here. If you learn more about CRPS, I want you to come here and make everybody aware about what's going on, not only in your journey, but how people can deal with theirs.
Appreciate that. I love the opportunity to be on this platform and spread awareness. Thank you so much for having me on, and you guys have a good night.
Thank you, Dahlia. That's it for the Midnight Hustle. I'm DieHard Derek. That's the Black Dahlia. Can you dig it? We're out.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?